Word Publishing, and I'm here with our most favorite researcher, Gil Kissling, and he is only 9 years old, and he has done so much studying, so much research that when we met him the first time at Waywalk, I remember just being so amazed by how much knowledge he had and how much desire for the truth and research that he had. As just 9 years old, he was picking up books and being like, oh, I've been studying this, Nephilim, and this is why this book is in particular like really, really relevant to the research that I'm doing. And I'm like, you're only 9? But this is the type of kid that he is, and I really wanted to interview Gil so that we can all be encouraged by his thirst for truth at such a young age. And so, Gil, can you please tell me a little bit about what you're researching now?
Well, right now I'm trying to research mythical creatures and before the flood.
Okay. And what specifically have you learned lately in terms of that topic?
Well, right now I'm trying to research the Anakim, also known as the giants, before the flood, or dragons, those sort of things. And we have a podcast where we're trying to figure out questions like, were dinos real? Or things like, is the earth flat?
Okay. And how do you do these research projects? Do you do them with your dad, or you just do them on your own,
Well,
and you encourage your dad to research?
Sometimes I do them with my dad, sometimes with my mom. Mostly it's reading.
Okay, reading. And so I remember when we met you at Waywalk and you came to our table and you were so excited to look at our books. And why specifically were you excited to look at our books so intensely?
Well, probably because there were some mythical creature books there, and I wanted to figure out what they were about.
Okay, great. And what would you say is your favorite Sacred Word Publishing book? Because I know that you have a couple of them now, and Gil also writes letters about what he's researching and what books he wants next from Sacred Word Publishing. So I'd like to know a little bit about what your favorite Sacred Word Publishing book is at this moment.
Well, I think it's something like, it's like a book about mythical creatures. It has some stuff about this guy who has a vision and he's going through hell, but the rest I thought was cool because it has references to evil serpents or evil monsters.
Okay. And I'm trying to remember what book, because I remember you got the Medieval Irish Apocrypha, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Is that the one? Okay, so that book, so Medieval Irish Apocrypha talks about, what did you just say? Describe
so it has like, these guys have visions, and then there's other stuff too, like the dating of time where certain monsters or serpents lived, and what they were like.
Wow. And what is a book that you would want in the future, do you think? I know that you've been looking at our table and kind of deciding what you're going to get next and things like that. So what do you want next?
Well, probably, if I can get it, the Celtic Dragon Myth.
Okay.
And 2 others. One of them is called Dragon and Dragon's Lore, and then one of them is called The Evolution of the Dragon.
Okay, cool. So all the dragons. And what would you do if you could write an article about anything at this moment, which I know you already write articles and you're starting your first book, but what would be the next article topic that you write about?
It's going to be mostly about lizards because I got this book from Barnes & Nobles. It's about like real dragons, like the Komodo dragon, for instance, or the thorny devil, or thorny dragon. Okay,
cool. And what do you think is, because let's be honest, not very many 9-year-olds are super interested in ancient biblical texts or the Irish Apocrypha or things like that. What do you think has inspired you to research so deeply in the way that you do in all of these different kinds of truth-seeker topics?
Well, it all started when my dad was talking to my grandparents about it, and the person my dad works with, his name is Fulton Sheen.
Okay.
He mentioned
Who's your mom and dad?
Micah and Andrea Kissling.
Okay, cool. So shout out to Micah and Andrew Kissling, who has clearly done a great job raising Gil. But okay, so as we were talking about, you said that listening to the conversations between your father and Fulton is what inspired you to do deeper research?
Well, it was really my dad and my grandparents.
Okay, and why? What did they do or what did they say that inspired
Well, they
you?
were talking about Roman churches.
Uh-huh.
They have tunnels under them, and they
Oh, wow.
all lead to Rome, which means Rome was like maybe a capital of the giants where they lived mostly.
Wow.
And I have a couple theories about where they live right now. They're probably under the ice in the Arctic, or
Okay.
they're living underground. People have gotten lost in tunnels. Public school teachers and kids have gotten lost down there.
Whoa, where did you hear that from?
Well, I got that from a documentary called True Legends, Holocaust of Giants.
Whoa, that is wild. And so your conversations between adults around the house and adults around your life is what inspired you to research deeper. And when you do want to research, how do you get a hold of these research topics other than coming to conferences and meeting Sacred Word Publishing?
Well, it's probably just me buying books and my love for reading, because I love reading, and I'll read about anything that is good
Mm-hmm.
or not really anything.
Wow, that's amazing.
A
And
lot
do you
of
feel
things that I like to study that I feel really like that would really make me like, well, I want to read that.
That's great. And what would you tell other people out there about why researching is important to you, and maybe it should be to others as well, and how that's kind of deepened your understanding of life, of the world, and what's going on around you?
Well, probably because that if someone wants to study something and they
Mhm.
figure something out that they think is cool, they should probably share it. And if people don't believe them, then say, go look for yourself, and point out some places where they could look.
Amen to that. Yes, it's so important to be able to take what we hear from other people or channels or whatever it is and research it for ourselves rather than believing, right? And so I think what we love about you, Gil, so much is that you never take anything for face value. You always want to do your own research, always want to dig deeper, and that is truly the type of truth seeker person that we absolutely love. And so we thank you, Gil, for being such a great supporter of ours, such a great friend, and just we love you so much, Gil. So thank you, and talk next time.